I'm very excited about what we're doing here. No Filters is simply us having very honest conversations about love, sex, and relationships, because that is what we do on Love Matters, right? So Love Matters, what we do is basically talk about love, sex, relationships, and everything in between. We're being very honest. So thank you everybody for joining, for coming on live. And I have an amazing panel with me here. We're going to be having like really good discussion on everything that has to do with sex and relationship. So before we start off, I want everybody to like just introduce themselves. I know I have like I have like a very eccentric panel right here. So I would like, I know we are in a very gender equal world, but I would like to start with the ladies. So Ajifa, if you would love to introduce yourself.
Who? Me?
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, hi. Hi, everyone. Foladele, what's funny? Like, really?
She said Ajifa, you're like me. Yeah.
No, I didn't hear the Ajifa. Please, don't even annoy me, right?
We need to be on our best behavior, people.
Yes. Okay, so hi, everyone. My name is Ajifa Atuluku. I am a filmmaker, a producer, and formerly a presenter. Maybe it will happen in the future. I don't know, but for now,
Amen.
I'm more behind the camera, and I tell compelling stories with my films and do social impact stories as well. I just want to also state that I paved the way for Foladele, who's just below, there. I paved the way for her to be the presenter that she is today. That's what I wanted to say.
Okay. So
should I just?
So Foladele, they get you up for an introduction, so you can go now.
She's also paving the way for my introduction. Wow, Ajifa. All right. So my name is Foladele. My name is Foladele Ngadi. I'm a TV presenter and TV producer, and I also, interestingly, just as Ajifa had said about telling compelling stories, I love telling compelling stories, but in a different way. So while she does documentaries, I run a journal, a relationship journal. It's called The Relationship Journal, and I tell people's relationship stories, love, family, friendship, and all that. And yeah, I'm very passionate about talking about relationships, hence agreeing to do this.
Thank you for that, Foladele. Great having you here. And we have Hero. So Hero, you can go next.
All right, thank you very much. Shout out to the people that have paved way for us. Ajifa, thank you so much for paving way for us. Also, Paula, it's such an honor being in this panel session with this, amazing set of people. And I'm hoping that you would call me soon and help my life, Ajifa and Foladele. So my name is Hero Daniels. I like to say I'm a businessman. I don't know if it has anything to do with my tribe, but it's just importer, exporter. You have money, I give you what you want. In this COVID time, you cannot just say I'm this thing. Please, if you know, I sell land, I sell car, you understand? I sell house, you understand? So anything that will bring money, I'm there. But basically what I do is I run a company called Itie Media, and what we do is that we produce content. Part of the content that we produce this period is the Isolation Games, which is Africa's first Instagram live game show. We also have a love game show called True Love Games, where we have bachelors and bachelorettes connect together. So I'm very passionate about today's session. When Harry reached out to me, I'm like, yeah, I think I'm a perfect fit. Let's do love. Let's talk love.
Nice.
Nice. This is really, so we have like a very diverse panel who are also very into having conversations around love, sex, and relationships. And so I'm very excited about us being here and just having this conversation, right? So the questions that we're going to be asking, or the question I'm going to be asking, is based on the conversations that happens on our channel, right? So we have on our Facebook page. if you are watching us now, you're familiar with the Love Matters Facebook page and how we answer questions about love, sex, and relationships. And our platform, we have over 800,000 subscribers, and our inbox is always packed with people asking questions about, their relationships, and their love lives. And and some of these questions, sometimes you don't get to do them just in the inbox. So right now we want to answer them live for people that have asked the question. Now, the most common question we get is, how can I tell if someone truly loves me? Right? So, and this question doesn't come from just people in relationships. It comes from people that have crushes, people who are in maybe situations with people, and they want to know if the person really likes them, right? So it begs the question, how do you know that someone really likes you? I don't know who would like to go first.
Okay, I'll go first. So I'm gonna try not to be I'm gonna try not to be religious with this, but so my religion is Christianity, so I am a Christian, and so the way that we define love in Christianity is something that I find actually cuts across when you talk about love generally. So permit me to use that definition, and it's the whole thing about love. So I'll use some of it about how love gives. I think that's one of the most common ones I've found to be true. If someone loves you, then giving. So whether that is of time, whether that is of gifts, whether that is of I don't know, attention or whatever. I think love gives. I think giving is one way to know if someone loves you. I should also say before I go on that, I don't think there is one textbook answer of how to know if someone loves you. I think there's so many possible ways, because obviously people are different, right? So there's so many different ways that people would express love. However, I do think that there's some things that would come up in those different ways, and I think giving is one of those things. I think sacrifice is something that also would show up. So it might not be something that I would naturally want to do, but because I love you and because I really cherish you, I would want to go out of my way for you. I think respect is something that should also, I don't know if it always appears, but it should always appear. I think you should be able to tell that the person respects you and respects your feelings, doesn't want to hurt your feelings, respects you enough not to make you look silly in public, things like that. I'll just stop there before I open a church.
Preach, Pastor.
All right.
How do you feel? Do you agree with all the things that Foladele has said? Do you think that those are the yardsticks to judge if someone really loves you?
Well, I would agree with some of the things you said, which is love is given and given is love. But also, if you're attracted to someone, and I mean, talking from the guy's perspective, if I want to get into a lady's pants, by the way, this is an unfiltered show, right? Hi.
Yes, no filters.
All right. So if I want to get into a lady's pants, I mean, there's always like a trajectory. In fact, 90% of women would agree with this. The trajectory is the guy is always calling, texting, and giving you all the attention prior to when he lays you or prior to when he knows you. I'm trying to use biblical terms here.
No.
So, I mean, the trajectory is he's always giving you attention, he's calling, he's texting, and then, you guys get into a relationship, and he gets what he wants, and then all of a sudden he starts withdrawing his attention, and then you're like, oh my God, you changed. No, he didn't change. The thing is, he was looking for the cookies. You understand? So the men folk, we love to hunt, and we can give so long as we get our meat, quote and unquote. So how do I know if I am in love? Now, the truth of the matter is, first of all, people need to understand that if you meet someone, you can't possibly love the person. I don't believe in love in first sight. I don't believe that you just meet someone and 2 weeks down the line, you claim you're in love. Love is a byproduct. Love is not an ingredient. It's not what is needed to get into a relationship. Love is a byproduct of friendship. So if you guys don't have like a strong foundation of friendship, and if love doesn't happen, that's why they call you fall in love. So as a result of a very strong bond of friendship, loyalty, and someone that has proven himself or herself over time, you now fall in love. But a lot of people confuse attraction for love. So, I mean, if with the basis I've laid now, you are in friendship and you guys have built a solid foundation of friendship. Now, how do you know that he is truly in love with you or she is truly in love with you? If he's speaking in futuristic terms, all right, you should not necessarily, be with someone that is just currently after your present. Does he see a future with you? All right. Does he make statements like, okay, in the next 10 years, in the next 5 years, in the next 7 years? So I mean, I feel like someone who is invested in your future rather than invested in your present, or let me say invested much more in your future than your present, that's when you know that person, truly loves you. That's my own definition.
I have a question, sir, but after Ajifa talks out.
I like the whole thing of invested in your future and not your present, right? But I feel like a lot of men or women, would create the illusion that, okay, I'm interested in your future, but really they're just interested in other things. Do you have any words or comments on the conversation?
I'm trying not to. Hero, I understand everything you said, and to an extent I understand it, but to a very large extent I don't agree with it. And this is because I have been with people who I really loved, but I didn't see a future with, and it doesn't downplay the love that I had for them. It doesn't downplay the experiences I had with them. It doesn't downplay the fact that, they loved me at that point in time. I've been with guys as well who spoke about, when I marry you, when we get married. And it was all just bullshit because they were doing all that because they thought that was what I wanted to hear. They thought that I wanted to hear you say, talk about, what do you want to do in the next 5 years? What are your long-term goals, short-term goals? All the textbook things that think like a man, act like a woman, whatever. All of that. Sorry, I'm getting a call. All of that. I have experienced personally. So I like to speak from my personal experience, not from a general, textbook situation. Now, from my experience, what I've realized is that, like Foladele said, it has been like for me, it has been beyond words. A person talking to me about my future, saying, what's going on? Or a person talking to me and saying, I love you. It has been beyond word. For me, it has been somebody who has given of themselves. So it's not just giving you gifts and, it's giving themselves to help, to make sure that, sorry, my business partner is calling me so much. I'm sorry. It's giving themselves to make sure that that you are loved. It's giving of their time, of their energy, of their resources. It is, being present. I think the most important thing for me is a person that constantly shows up. When you need them, however you need them, whenever you need them. I think it's somebody who cares a lot about helping you achieve your goals, your dreams, the things you've set out for yourself. I also see it as, somebody who is attentive and sensitive to my needs and to me. Somebody who I don't have to speak to every time to say, okay, this is what I want, this is what I need, but is paying attention to know when they want, to know when they can step in, to know when they can remind me of the fact that they love me and they have certain feelings for me. Somebody who is attentive is number one for me. And then the next thing is somebody who is there, who is present, who is always may not be always available, but helps you understand when I'm not available is not because I don't care, it's because this is the situation. Yeah. That for me is number one. So, I mean, I understand that, yes, somebody who loves you naturally will want to talk about your future and see what they can do to help you achieve that future that you want for yourself. Somebody who loves you naturally sees themselves long-term in your life and is also talking about things that have to do with your future with you. I agree with that, Daniels, Hero. Yeah. But I would say that it's just in the little things for me.
Sorry, I just wanted to say,
sorry.
I wanted to.
People are getting really excited now.
Yeah.
I wanted to say,
well, I'll allow for that to talk.
Oh, thank you so much, Hero. So I wanted to say one thing about what Ajifa said, which I suspect Hero might want to go off on. And it is the fact that while I agree with Ajifa about attention, I think Hero might want to say it is possible for someone to fake, attention because that's what they think you want. So they call you, give you everything. But I think one thing that proves.
But that's not the type of attention I'm talking about.
Exactly. So one thing that time does is it proves how much a person loves you. Like, it shows if that's authentic or the person is just doing it because that's what you want. If you're not slipping up in the attention thing, if you're able to, put up a fake game for the attention one, there's something else that would show that you don't really care. You would still slip up.
So
Also,
okay.
Also, one thing Hero said about future, I think it's possible for someone to love you, but not be in that place in their head where they want to talk future yet.
I agree.
Yeah. So that's all.
Okay, Hero, you wanted to say something. Hero, do you want to respond to anything that actually?
Oh yes. I'm gonna read from the Fuckboy book. So
Is there really a book like that?
Is that really a book?
Yeah, we have the Fuckboy book. I mean, the Fuckboy model.
Okay.
So now, Ajifa made mention of, someone that is.
And it's your face. Your face is so serious, Hero. What is it like? Is it a real?
So
book?
now, I'm holding the book, the Fuckboy book. All the association of lucky fuckboys, we came together and we decided to, come up with a book. Now, this is me being serious. Yeah, this is me being serious. Now, there are different types of fuckboys, yeah? We have the ones that are just, they're just all about sex. They're not insensitive fuckboys, all right? They can't even hide it. So they're always describing your physical qualities. Babe, you make sense, this, that, and that, just because of they want to get into your pants, yeah? We have the spiritual fuckboys. I don't want to use, those are the ones that would... Those are the ones that will, tell you, oh, okay, quote Bible scriptures, have you gone to fellowship, this and that. I need you to invest in your spiritual life. Let's pray together and all of that. We have the spiritual fuckboys. Now we have the emotionally intelligent fuckboys. Those are the fuckboys that can actually deal, with all due respect, with you, Ajifa. Now, the emotionally intelligent fuckboy is... I said with all due respect.
Wow,
it's someone that is,
it makes it better. Thanks.
Now, the emotionally intelligent fuckboy is one that is really sensitive to your needs. Like, these are people that they connect with your emotions. Like, it's a gift. You don't just I don't think we have up to, if in terms of percentage, I don't think we have up to 20% emotional fuckboys. They understand you, they understand your temperament. These are intelligent guys, all right? Now, these are people, they derive joy in playing games. So when you're talking about you need someone to understand you, that you don't necessarily need to even, speak before he understands what your needs are. These are emotionally, there are certain people like that. They can be committed emotionally to more than one woman at the same time, and they're giving them maximum attention. And the reason why I'm saying this with passion is because I have seen an emotional fuckboy. And I know. You're judging me. You wanna...
or you are him.
Exactly.
No. I know what you guys are about to do, but for record purposes, let's just say I have seen.
For the record,
okay. Let's just say I've seen. So trust me, don't fall into that trap. Honestly, I think it's just a bit of everything that we've all said. All right, you have a point, Ajifa. Fola, you have a point. I think I have a bit of a point. There are just like you said. There's no. I don't think there's a one. It's only one. Yes. So it's just a bit of everything, because I have seen people that mess ladies up emotionally. They understand you, they get you, and then you're like, yeah. You also forgot what?
Sorry, I also forgot to say one thing. Another thing is, I don't know about guys. Let me speak for myself. There is an inner peace. I don't know what it is, but I agree with you that you say there are guys who they will be attentive before you open your mouth. They already know what. And I know, because the people who play the long game. Do you understand? I know there are people who are professionals in playing the long game. Mm-hmm. Do you understand? My sister dated somebody for 12 years. 12 good years, and still she didn't know that he was absolute shit. Do you understand? He did it for 12 years, and in 2 years of marriage, everything scattered. So trust me, I know exactly what you mean. But you see, my thing is, at the end of the day, there is always, I feel like for me and what I've experienced in my own, there's always that knowing, that thing that gnaws at you inside. Do you understand? That if you want to be honest with yourself, you constantly have to remind yourself that, you know what, he loves me, he was attentive to me, this. Every time that thing comes, you always have to remind yourself, oh, don't worry, he loves me. And I'm not talking about fear. I'm not talking about overthinking now, which is a normal human, having anxiety. These are normal human manifestations of, human relationships. I'm talking about there's just that one thing that constantly pricks at you inside, that you have to now keep defending the person to yourself, or reminding yourself that, okay, you know what, I'm dating him because of this. At least he bought me beans last week. That is okay. Yeah. We can still date. Do you understand what I'm saying? That's what I mean.
Maybe
so, like,
it's not the reason that we stay.
So, like you said, I agree. But in that 20% that you're speaking of guys who are, emotionally intelligent.
Yes.
There is an 80% or 15% or 1% or 0.022% that are attentive to your needs because they actually love you.
Yeah.
So,
true. But also,
before we go on, Hero, we have some comments on Facebook that I want us to read.
Go ahead.
We carry our audience along. They are very important to us. So I want us to check out some of the comments and questions. So the first comment is from Francis Edu, and he says, "Baby, I'm sorry you lost your phone. Take this $300K, my house rent and school fees. Get yourself a new phone and the bag you requested for. This is how a guy should treat his woman." Do we agree? So I'll keep that on pause and then we'll come back to that. Just make a mental note of that. He says,
"Wait, sorry, I didn't get it. I'm sorry. Can you say it again?"
Maybe I'm sorry you lost your phone.
He painted a scenario where his girlfriend or the girl is striking.
Yeah. I get that.
Phone, and so he's giving her his house rent or his school fees to go and buy a phone. So he's like, is that love? Like, should he increase his volume? One. Amali James said he has a question, right? He said, okay, Amali James, I think Amali James is a girl. There's this, she says, there's this guy that asked me out during our 100 level, but due to lots of things to do, I said no. Then he started dating a girl in our class, but he keeps disturbing me like he's always teasing me a lot. And sometimes we end up arguing whenever we are chatting. My question is, why is he doing this despite dating the other girl? So she's saying that, the guy used to try her, and then she didn't agree because she was very busy. And then now he's dating someone else in her class, and then the guy is still up in her business. That why is he
still circling around?
Exactly.
Wait, she didn't agree. She didn't agree to date him because she was very busy.
Yeah, she was very busy.
He's still interested now. Why else would he be circling? He's not over it. You're the one that's busy.
Well, I think he's in a relationship with someone. So she's
not in a relationship.
Who has that ever stopped?
Hero, can you answer that question, Hero? Why do you think the guy is still around her? Why do you think the guy is still
All right, I'm gonna be nice. I'm gonna be nice. He just wants to sleep with you, girl. I mean, the cookies is the cookies. Let's get as much cookies as we can get.
Cookies, girl.
Is it chocolate?
Do you understand?
Cookie, my brother.
No, I'm just being honest, all right? If a guy, is asking you out and then you are busy, quote unquote, and he's not working extra hard, he doesn't have eyes only for you, and he's dating someone in your class, no respect for you at all. I mean, even if you want to fish, go and fish in another river, not in the current river that you're eyeing one shark. You understand? So, my dear, trust me, you thought you were a shark, but you're just a tilapia. So he has gone for the one, he's eating one currently, and he's not really satisfied. He wants to add you to it and then have the bragging rights that they smashed 2 dates for the same class.
Hero,
as simple as that.
Amali, do you think that your question was answered, Amali? If you feel like it wasn't well answered, you can just send a message again.
But
Hero, do you think it's possible? Yeah, is it possible as well? Because again, as we've agreed, all these things are not always absolute, right? So is it also possible that because people say, oh, your first love, or the person who you had eyes for first, like you never really shift your attention from that person. So is it possible that he really likes her and he's just settling for this person because maybe she was not busy and she was very keen, but he's still interested in that person, away from knacks, away from sex, and just like genuinely wants to date her? I know men like the chase and all that. I get that. But do you think there's a possible genuine reason?
Okay, so now here's the thing. If he's currently dating someone and he's still asking another person out, first of all, it shows you the integrity of the man that wants to woo you. He has no integrity.
Yeah. Okay.
So that is even questionable. Exactly. So let's even assume that okay, he's really interested, that the girl is his first love. Then break up with the current girl you're dating.
Exactly.
And then chase this one that you're going for. And then even when that happens, you still have to scrutinize him, because a man that is willing to just break up with someone he's supposedly committed to, what is the possibility that if he eventually enters a relationship with you, he's not going to break up with you and go to someone else?
Yeah, I feel like my thing.
We still have more questions. I don't
go ahead.
We still do.
Let us go through. I want Foladele to answer.
Wait. Harry, we haven't answered the guy who sold his house.
Yes.
Ajifa,
what would you do if someone gives you their house rent or their school fees and say, okay,
First of all, that's absolute rubbish, because anybody who claims to love somebody has to love themselves first. These are essentials. So it's not like as if you were saving money to buy a PS and you let it go and you said, okay, take it and buy your phone. No, these are essentials. This is your school fees. This is your house rent. Okay, so as she buys the phone now, would two of you go and live inside the phone? Or would this phone educate you? Do you understand? Would the phone educate you instead of your school fees? That is not love. That is stupidity. So for me, it's not gonna work. If anybody does that and gives it to me, obviously, if we move forward in life, that's it. Our savings and everything we want to do in this life, we just
let's love with sense, please.
Exactly.
Okay, thank you for that comment, Ajifa. We have a question from Queen Sandy. She wants advice. She's saying, please advise. I have 3 toasters and all of them claim to love me. I'm just 22.
A sweet girl.
A sweet girl. I'm just 22 and I don't have any relationship. And on the other hand, I like one of my toasters. Because I'm afraid of having sex. That's why I don't want a relationship. Please kindly advise. This question is, I have 3 people that really like me. I like one of them. I'm afraid to commit to any of them because I don't want to have sex. Yes.
Thank you so much. Thank you. I will take it. All right. So first things first. So we treat this, and we say this about sex every now and then, that we act like sex is something that you're giving as a gift. So I'll say this same as in that women are giving, whereas it's 2 people that are consenting, at least in the case that it's consensual sex. So I'll say this about dating people as well. The way that here we say, oh, I have 3 toasters. Oh, okay, you have 3 toasters. Which one do you like? Like, it's not that you just have 3 toasters and it is their choice. It is your choice. You're the one who is going to enter the relationship as well, right? So which one do you like? Okay, you've now said that you like one. Not every relationship. It's not in every relationship that people are having sex now. If you don't want to have sex, it's not. I know relationships. I've been in a relationship where I did not have sex. So it's not every relationship that people are having sex inside it. So thanks. So if you're not interested in having having sex, I believe that it is unfair to you to get into something where you give up all your rights and you can't decide. That's unfair. Then you're just in the relationship for the person, not for yourself. And as Ajifa said, loving yourself is very important. So, and I was going to, even before you got to the sex thing, I was going to say, in deciding who to date, you have to figure out what your values are. What is it that interests you? What is it that you like about this person? What is it that you want from a relationship? And so in deciding that, then you gauge all the toasters and see what their qualities are and see which one you vibe more with. If they all want to have sex and you don't want to have sex, but you really like one of them, might be worth having a conversation. I don't think you should write him off because of sex. It might be worth having a conversation. I want to have a celibate relationship. Are you keen? If he's not keen, then you're going to end up frustrating him, because you will not be having sex. So you will not be having sex, which will be fine for you, but it would be unfair to him because you've brought him into a situation where you're not going to be having sex and it's going to be hard for him to cope. So if he's not keen, then move. But if he's keen to try, then go for it. Try it. Not every relationship, there are relationships you can get into and you don't have to have sex. Stand by what you believe in and find people who align with that or who are willing to try to align with that. If not, move.
Does anybody want to add anything to what Foladele has said as regards the lady not wanting to have sex in a relationship?
No, I mean it's really that's it. It's very simple. It's your life. Do you understand? At the end of the day, there's no gun to your head to say sex me or you'll die. Like,
open your legs now.
It's not that deep at the end of the day. Like, that's what I'm saying. Except that, like Foladele said, except is a situation of you're under duress.
Yeah.
But in this case, she obviously has, the choice is hers. So I just really feel like it's very, very, I mean, it may not be easy because I know that there are people who, and like Foladele said, I've been in relationships with people who wanted to have sex with me, who told me from the beginning, oh, this relationship I want to be in. It's a sex scene. I mean, look at me. So like, I've been with people who told me this is a relationship I want to be in, a sexy relationship with you. But after we had conversation and I helped them understand that this was not on the table for me, they adjusted their position, because it doesn't mean that they don't want to have sex with you, but it's that they're able to compromise. Do you understand? For it to work. Okay. So I feel like when she decides that she likes this guy and he's keen on sex and he said sex or nothing, at that point, my baby girl, that is not the relationship for you.
That's not the relationship. Yeah. Itie and Jonathan, I'm sorry if I mispronounced your name, please.
I am sorry that you did.
You said what?
Itie and Jonathan is shouting out Hero, and he's saying that Hero seriously learning from live discussion. So Hero, you're really connected to Jonathan. So maybe you should say a few things to him. You know,
from this Hero's book of Association of Boys that are not okay.
It's really connected to Hero. I have a question also from someone. This is Yusuf Amadi. Please, what are the tremendous signs if a girl has feelings for her guy? Like, what signs should the guys look out for if, you know, he's asking that what signs should he look out for to know if
I like this one. Hero, go for it first. We'll come back. Go for it.
So what do you think are the signs that you look out for?
Okay, well, the signs are not definite. It's based, first of all, you need to understand her temperament, all right? You need to understand the kind of girl, because the signs differ from women to women, because women are the most complicated beings on planet Earth. They are the most sophisticated and at the same time the most complicated, in the sense that what works for this woman might not necessarily work for for the other woman. So I think you need to understand what her love languages are. Okay, so that is where communication also comes into play. You know, you need to, before you get into a relationship with someone or whilst in the relationship, you need to understand your partner, what her love languages are. All right, it is from her love languages that you now determine if she, you know, genuinely has feelings for you. At least you can make the judgment based on her love languages. So there are different love languages. Like, personally for me, my love language, when I really, really, really like a girl, is I'm all over you. All right, I mean, I'm a hopeless romantic. I'm sending you the text messages. I'm sending you the flowers. I'm giving you the surprises. That is my love language. That is how I express. I like to take care of my woman. All right. That is my own love language. Now,
are you single?
Oh yes, I am.
Okay.
But how do you know if the girl has feelings?
How do you know? Now, how do I know if a girl has feelings for me? So it depends on the girl. So if she's on the reserved side, now reserved ladies have a very, they don't do the talking, they do the showing. You know, they are there, you know, emotionally for you. Reserved ladies, they might not be so expressive. All right. So depending on her temperament, if your girl is a very calm girl, it might be hard for you to really read if you're not sensitive. So you need to, watch out what kind of girl she is. So if she's a melancholy or she's a phlegmatic, I'm trying not to use too much of these terminologies, but if she's calm and cool and collected, you'd be able to, at least from her actions, okay, does she want to come take care of you during the weekend? I'm not trying to stereotype what women do or how society perceives women to take care of men. But I'm just saying, most times I've discovered that, very quiet people, they like to act more. They don't necessarily talk. It might not necessarily be very expressive, but they want via actions. Does she, can I pack a lunch box for you? And I'm not saying cooking is a gender role, please. I'm trying to be very politically correct.
Because we'll drag you on Twitter like small
Exactly. Exactly. So, but I mean, these are love languages, If she is the very expressive type, is she all over you? Like, oh, my babe, this and that. So it depends on the kind of woman. So you can't necessarily just judge, there's no general way a woman would show you that she's really in love with you. So it depends on the kind of woman you are in a relationship with.
Okay, thank you so much, Hero. We have another question. I think this is going to be our last question because I think we've run out of time. But I really enjoyed the conversation, by the way. So thank you, everyone.
Harry, you can extend the time. We've already gone beyond. You can just do
we already extended it. Donald Iyare Benedict says, "Hey, love matters. Does age really matter in a relationship? 10 years age gap from the opposite sex." Now, this is a huge conversation on social media about
I'm the best person to answer this.
What age?
Yeah.
What age is the best when it comes to dating someone? So I want to hear from everybody. Like Donald is asking, what do you think about a 10-year age gap between you and your partner?
Ajifa, you want to go first?
Okay. Okay. First of all, I would say this. This love thing is ridiculous. There's no respecter of human being. It doesn't give a shit about your plans. It doesn't give a shit about what you said you wanted to do or what you planned for yourself or the things that you said, okay, this is me. I can do only two years and above. It doesn't care. And you don't, and somehow, I mean, I know that love is a choice. Every day you wake up and you decide and you say, actually, being committed to a relationship is a choice. Every day you wake up and say, I choose to be with this person. I choose to be committed to this person every day. But the truth is that the person you fall for, the person you have, feelings for, you cannot, to a very large extent, you don't have power over. I'll say this because, I personally realize that age is absolutely nothing but a number. I know that for women, it's a bit harder because when when we would like to measure the age based on our maturity, and we like to say, okay, you know what, a guy who is in his 20s, 30s, he's still trying to figure out what.
1 second, I want to just clarify that we are talking about people within the legal age of consent.
Oh yes.
So let's just have that for.
Please, sir. Yes. Please, in my opinion, if you are below 21, face your studies. If you are below 21. So important to add that. So basically, I'm talking about people who are in legal, who are in the right, age to be dating. Age is nothing but a number because at the end of the day, you don't choose who you fall for. I feel like what is important in a relationship are, the aligning of values, the aligning of, what's the word, of common ground, and I see that, for women, it's harder for us to say, okay, you want to date a younger guy because, when you see a guy in his 20s, in his 30s, you're saying, compared to my maturity level or whatever, at that point, the guy doesn't really know what he wants. But the truth is that I have seen relationships with people of people who are I've seen relationships, of people who are like 10, 5, 6 years, and these are women older than their significant other. So I'll say that there is no age, there's no convenient age. There's no age that you say, 2 to 3 years, 5 to 7 years is convenient. No, it is your preference for you to be in the same generation with the person you're dating. But if you're not, there's nothing you can do. It's just for you guys to have a system that works for you both, and for you guys to be able to have that mutual understanding of your relationship and being able to work together as a team, you know, to constantly, you know, achieve your individual and what they call it, and joint goals. You know, that's what I would say.
Okay, so apparently I'm running out of time. Zoom is like telling me that your time is about to run out.
Harry, you don't get premium Zoom. You don't get premium Zoom.
However, we have premium Zoom. Please don't do this. However, I want to take a question from Olajoye Isaiah, who says, please, how could someone know if a baby really loves him? She says she loves me if I call her, and when we talk on social media, but she doesn't call me back. Hero, do you want to take one?
Wait, she doesn't call him back.
Yeah. She doesn't call back, but she wants him to call her.
He calls her, but she doesn't call him back.
Red flag.
Please, Hero, I'm sorry. Let me just jump in briefly.
She doesn't miss
red
you.
flag.
I was reading something, was it yesterday on Twitter, and this guy was telling a story about his babe and how she started to act funny. And he would call, she'd be like, please, I'm not feeling okay, I beg, later. Until she used someone else's number to call the babe. That's how I discovered that the babe, maybe the Sha officially broke up, maybe the next week she was doing whether introduction or the engagement or whatever. See, you know how we say men are scum, eh? When women want to scumalize, they really scum through. See, and I feel so bad for guys who like are so like they get in love and it just because when women break your heart, it is deep. My guy, attention is key. If the woman does not if she's not calling you, find out whether or not she's a calling type in quotes. I'm not the calling type, I'm the testing type.
There's no such thing as that, please. I'm not the calling type.
Exactly. Why are we not? Because even religious people, they pray to their God. There is communication. So why don't you want us to communicate? Why don't you want us to talk? If she's not calling you, maybe give it time. Don't call her. If she doesn't call you and she's okay not calling you for days, for weeks,
then you are no more in a relationship.
Okay.
Forget about.
Okay. We need to get to Hero. Hero, what are your thoughts on this briefly so we can round up?
All right. I'm gonna refer to the fuck girl rule.
I know.
The fuck girl book.
And it's in the same book. The same book.
See, bro, there's no better way to put this. Just she doesn't love you. I'm just answering directly. I'm not even giving you, I'm not even trying to paint scenarios. It's as simple as that. Fola has said it, and I mean, she's a woman. So I think you have a balanced opinion right now. So as far as I'm concerned, women also are very expressive. Like, how do I put it? When I made mention of knowing the type of woman you are in a relationship, there is a stereotype. And the stereotype is, I think all women like to communicate. When I mean communicate, it might not be communicate in terms of when you guys are having issues, but I mean talk to that person they love. I've not seen a woman that loves somebody and would not call the person. So attention is key. That's just the truth. I mean, if there's any stereotype, that's it. So my brother,
please run away from anybody that says I'm not the calling type, I'm not the texting.
I'm not the calling type.
Or somebody who says I'm too busy, oh my God, I'm so busy. The truth is that you will make time for what is important to you, no matter what you're
doing. It's priority.
So that one, my bros, you're dating yourself.
And if you can't make time right then and there, you would communicate why you can't make time. I think I first said something.
That's it.
You would be clear. Communication is everything. It's what makes relationships thrive, my brother. Brother, please move away, Isaiah. That is not the one for you.
This has been such an interesting conversation. I've really enjoyed every minute of it. Joyce Ali asked the question, but Joyce, that is the crux of what we've been talking about. Joyce is saying, how do you know that a guy genuinely loves you? We've been talking about it all, for almost an hour now. But I think that what people have said is just the person that genuinely loves you will make time out for you and will treat you as important. So I think that is very important to know. I feel like because a lot of people in our comments saying yes, they agree. Jonathan is saying well done to me and all of us on this panel. So thank you, Jonathan, for shouting us out. Dominic says he's relieved with the response that we gave him.
Aww.
Yeah, so he's happy that we gave him the responses that we did. And yes, Donald, the video will be re-uploaded. So you can get to watch it back and get to see and hear some of the things that the panelists have said. Someone is responding to Amali's comment about the guy, the guy that was toasting the girl, and then she didn't have time for him, and then he went to date someone else in her class, and the person is saying that he actually loved the other girl. He got entangled with the other girl so as to make you jealous. That's it. That's another angle. We are going to be very, you know. That's
but that is no, but it's not. It's a stupid angle because, like,
Well,
in
love,
true love, there is no space for jealousy. In true love, there is no space for all of those games. Do you understand what I'm saying? Anybody who's not ready to put it on the line. Do you understand?
Ajifa, that's ideal. Ajifa, that's ideal. But in reality, people have time to love you and play game of jealousy.
No,
but notwithstanding, that also gets to the integrity. You know, I mentioned the integrity.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
You want to date
somebody
a man
who's going to be making you jealous.
Character.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
You can't get through to her any other way.
Let's not play games in 2020. If you love someone, tell them you love them.
Exactly.
And if they are too busy and they don't want, then move on, bro.
That is what's up. That is what's up. Final words. I want your final words to be one sentence. One sentence. I'll start from, we started with Ajifa, so I'll start from Hero now. So from Hero, final sentence.
Well, here's my final sentence. It's going to be a very long one because it said one sentence. So I'm going to just be adding and so that it makes it long. I'm just kidding. Guys, the truth of the matter is there is no one way to love and there is no one way to determine love. All you need to do is love yourself, understand yourself, and when the right one comes, you will know.
Okay, Foladele, final phrase.
Know your worth. Don't settle for less than you deserve.
Preach. Ajifa, final phrase.
I'd say do not be a stereotype. Do not listen to the stereotypes. There is genuine love out there. There is love for you. Everybody has someone for them, and it just takes time, but you will find the person.
Amen.
That was really sweet.
Harry, Harry, sorry, I just want to sell marketing. I'm a businessman, so I have a platform called True Love Games. So
sell your market, please.
Yeah, we match up people.
We'll put your like your social media, how people can reach you. We'll share that in the description box so that people can actually follow you and find out more about what you're doing outside of talking about love and relationships.
I'm not on Facebook, please.
Definitely. And the final comments I'm going to read is from Johnson Ogu. He responded to Queen Sandy's comment and he said, "Good one. Being afraid of sex is good, but also be afraid of requesting for money from any of them." And on that note,
no, Harry, never. Harry, you got problem with that. Please, I want to change my final sentence. Don't be afraid of sex, so because when you now want to have sex in the way you are supposed to be having it, you will now be scared and fear will not let you enjoy your sex life. Please don't be afraid of sex, so that's not the real advice.
Sex, when done at the right time with the right person, is a sweet. It's a sweet phenomenon.
I want to say thank you to my panelists. They are very badly behaved, but thank you to my panelists. I really appreciate you guys coming out to have this conversation.
Thank you.
Ajifa, you can follow her on Twitter and Instagram at Miss MS_AYJAY. Foladele is at Foladele F on Instagram and on Twitter. And Hero Daniels is at Hero Daniels on all across social media. Follow us on Twitter.
Across the board.
Follow Love Matters on Twitter at Love Matters NG, and we are on Instagram at Love Matters Naija_. Thank you so much for watching. This has been such a trip, and we'll see you next week. Bye bye.